Trump's new America. Russian is the official language now. Here's why. This information comes from The Guardian, one of Britain's longest-standing newspapers, established in 1821. Published today, Sunday, March 9, 2025, it highlights the alarming shift in U.S. foreign policy under Donald Trump. In just 7 weeks since returning to the White House for his second term, Trump has taken steps to align the U.S. more closely with Russia, sidelining Ukraine, and undermining long-standing alliances. Here's a breakdown of his actions. Number 1. 12th of February, Trump and Putin hold a call to begin negotiations on ending the war. Trump's call with Putin marked a diplomatic breakthrough for Russia. The leaders agreed to begin negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. This move effectively undermined the U.S.'s effort to isolate Russia, and Trump followed up with a call to Ukrainian President Zelenskyy only after speaking with Putin, indicating a shift in the power dynamics. Number 2. 12th February, U.S. Defense Secretary rules out NATO membership for Ukraine. At a summit in Brussels, Pete Hegseth dismissed Ukraine's hopes of joining NATO, calling it unrealistic. He argued that any peace agreement should be secured by non-U.S. troops, signaling a distancing from Ukraine's defense and international alliances. Number 3. 14th February, Trump's VP launches an attack on Europe. J.D. Vance, U.S. Vice President, used his speech at the Munich Security Conference to criticize Washington's European allies. He downplayed the threat from Russia and China, instead focusing on what he perceived as a decline in Europe's commitment to free speech, ignoring Ukraine's war. Number 4. 18th of February, U.S. and Russian officials meet in Saudi Arabia. The U.S. and Russia held their most extensive high-level talks in years. No Ukrainian or European officials were present, marking a shift in U.S. foreign policy and a move toward improving U.S.-Russian diplomatic and economic ties. Number 5. 19th of February, Trump blames Kyiv for the war. In a stunning move, Trump seemed to place blame on Ukraine for Russia's invasion, calling for elections in the war-torn country, echoing Moscow's demands. He even referred to Zelenskyy as a dictator and issued a stark warning that Ukraine may lose its sovereignty. Number 6. 24 February, the U.S. sides with Russia at the UN. For the first time since Russia's invasion, the U.S. voted alongside Russia at the UN against a European-drafted resolution condemning Russia's actions and supporting Ukraine's territorial integrity. This marked a dramatic break in transatlantic relations. Number 7. 28th February, Trump berates Zelenskyy in front of cameras. In a public Oval Office meeting, Trump and J.D. Vance humiliated Zelenskyy. The meeting, meant to discuss a potential ceasefire deal, devolved into chaos, leading to the cancellation of the joint press conference. Number 8. 4 March, Trump retreats from Russian cyber threat. The Trump administration signaled that it no longer views Russia as a cyber threat, a stunning departure from previous assessments. This shift came despite Russia's history of cyber attacks targeting U.S. infrastructure. Number 9. 3 and 5 March, U.S. suspends military aid to Ukraine. Trump suspended all U.S. military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine. This was part of a broader pressure campaign to coerce Ukraine into participating in peace negotiations with Russia. The U.S. began drafting a plan to restore relations with Russia and lift sanctions. Number 10. 7 March, Trump praises Putin over Ukraine. In an Oval Office press conference, Trump stated it was easier to work with Russia than Ukraine and expressed confidence that Putin wanted peace. Trump's comments sent a signal of support for Russia amidst the ongoing war in Ukraine. These actions by Trump are alarming, signaling a drastic pivot in U.S. foreign policy that undermines support for Ukraine and strengthens ties with Russia. If this trajectory continues, it could lead to a dramatic shift in global alliances and have devastating consequences for democratic nations around the world. Call to action. If you're as concerned as we are about Trump's alarming shift towards Russia and his abandonment of Ukraine, it's time to take action. Call the Capitol switchboard today at 202-224-3121. Tell your senator and congressman that this is unacceptable and demand that they vote against Donald Trump. If they don't take action, remind them that they are complicit. If they don't act, they should prepare for the unemployment line in 2026, because voters will hold them accountable at the polls. Please like and subscribe, maybe watch another video or share this with a friend. Source: The Guardian.